and turmoil and peace mingled up. But through it all, like Jesus, we go through this life and we end up in glory, rejoicing. No more sin, no more sorrow, no more pain, no more crying, no more ancient foe. For he will be completely wiped out, and sorrow, completely wiped out, and we will have peace and joy. Won't you join me? He will be completely wiped out. Sin, let's ask Jesus today. Father, give us that. He will be help us to go through what we need to go through. Sin and sorrow completely wiped out. So that we may come into glory and to the heavenly realms. Won't you join me? This is my desire for all those who are listening, because it is God's will. His will is my will. Won't you join me? I want to have that. Don't you accept His will in your life today? Father, give us that surrender your life to Him. Help us to go through what we need to go through. Things that are so that you don't even realize. So that we may come into glory with you. You don't even realize that you're suffering. This is my desire for all those who are listening. So let Jesus, because it is God's will today. His will is my will. Won't you accept His will in your life today? Won't you surrender your life to Him and give up all the things that are paining you and you don't even realize? You don't even realize that you're suffering, even as I did.
JD Furniture Store. We believe the things you choose for your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time. Visit JD Furniture showroom in Arima or www.jdfurniturestore.com to buy and apply today.
Open weekdays
we believe the things you choose
Call
for your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time. Visit JD Furniture showroom in Arima or www.jdfurniturestore.com to buy and apply today.
Open weekdays only. Call or WhatsApp 219-3000 today.
For your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time. Visit JD Furniture showroom in Arima or www.jdfurniturestore.com to buy and apply today.
Open weekdays only. Call or WhatsApp 219-3000 today.
For your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time. Visit JD Furniture showroom in Arima or www.jdfurniturestore.com to buy and apply today.
Open weekdays only. Call or WhatsApp 219-3000 today.
Good morning. This morning I want to treat with a prophecy of the persecution of the saints, which is just before the mark of the beast is instituted. And I have something, there are some signs that we miss along the way. COVID was one. So I returned to COVID this morning, but I want to return to a bigger sign that God has introduced us to. And I am thinking that this will help to explain what is a prophecy of the persecution of the saints, which is just before the mark of the beast is instituted. Full of what and I have something, there are some signs that we miss along the way. COVID was one.
I've spent much
So I
of
returned to COVID this
last
morning,
night and
but I
today
want to return to a bigger sign
if
that
anything,
God
I wanna
has
say about
introduced
the
us to.
assassination of Charlie Kirk.
And I am
And
thinking that
here it is.
this will help to
Watch a man
explain
slump into
what is
his chair,
very
blood
current.
pumping from his
At this
neck
time,
in
I will
front of his
ask
wife and
my
children
producer
is not only
to
a crime,
play a clip.
but an
Clip
obscenity.
is about 8
No
minutes,
decent person
but it is
should
full
celebrate
of what
it, and
I'll be
anyone who
speaking
does
about for the next
disgraces
40
themselves.
minutes.
What those two
Yes,
children
Samuel?
will remember will scar
I've spent
them
much of
forever. His
last
wife
night and
will
today
replay it
for the rest of
thinking
her days.
What
And
the audience,
if anything,
the
I wanna
members who
say
are there, the
about the
ordinary
assassination
people,
of
many
Charlie
of them
Kirk.
only there out of curiosity, they will
Here it
carry
is.
that
To
trauma
watch a
too.
man
These
slump
things have a
into
way
his
of
chair,
echoing.
blood pumping
This will
from his
radicalize
neck
some
in
in
front of his
wife
wife
and
and
children, and
is
deepen
not only a
already
crime,
yawning
but an
trend of
obscenity.
American
No
polarization.
decent person
Make no mistake,
should celebrate
this was
it.
not
And
an
anyone
attack
who
on
does
one man.
disgraces
It was an attack on
themselves.
every bystander's
What those two
sense of
children
safety
will
in
remember
public life.
will
And
scar
yet,
them
in the
forever.
hours since,
His wife
there has
will
been
replay
this
it for the
sickly
rest of
effort
her
to
days.
canonize
And the
Charlie
audience,
as some sort
the
of
members
martyr,
who were there,
a
the
humble,
ordinary people,
harmless
many of
man
them
who was
only there
merely
out of
asking
curiosity,
uncomfortable questions,
they will
who got
carry
struck
that trauma
down
too.
by the
These
intolerance
things have a
of
way
the
of
leftist mob.
echoing.
This is
This will
lionization
radicalize some, it will
bordering on
embitter
propaganda.
others,
And
so
deepen an
let's speak
already
plain.
yawning trend.
Charlie
of
Kirk
American
was not an
polarization.
innocent truth
Make
teller
no
cut
mistake,
down
this
for
was
his
not an
virtue.
attack
He
on
was a
one man.
ruthless
It was an attack
polemicist
on every
who, for more
bystander's
than a
sense of
decade,
safety
made
in
his
public
living
life.
pouring
And yet,
fuel
in
on
the
America's
hours
cultural
since,
wars.
there
He
has been this
trafficked in
sickly
racial
effort
dog
to
whistles,
canonize
mocking
Charlie as
minorities
some
and
sort of
treating
martyr,
school shootings
a humble,
as necessary
harmless
collateral
man
for the glory
merely
of gun
asking
right
uncomfortable
absolutism.
questions.
To
got
deny
struck
this is
down
to
by the
willfully
intolerance
rewrite
of the
history.
leftist mob.
Seriously,
This is
remember his words
lionization
referring to
bordering
school
on
shootings.
propaganda.
I think it's worth
And so,
to have
let's
a
speak
cost
plainly.
of,
Charlie Kirk
unfortunately,
was
some
not
gun
an
deaths
innocent
every single
truth
year,
teller
so
cut
that
down
we can
for his
have
virtue.
the
He
Second
was a
Amendment to
ruthless
protect our other
polemicist
God-given
who,
rights.
for more
Children
than a
were
decade,
bleeding to
made
death
his
on
living
classroom
pouring
floors
fuel
on
and his
America's
response
cultural
was not
wars. He
compassion
trafficked in
nor action,
racial
but an
dog
abstract
whistles, mocking
calculus in which
minorities
their
and
corpses
treating school
were an
shootings
acceptable
as
price.
necessary
He described
collateral
Martin
for the
Luther
glory of
King
gun
Jr.
right
as
absolutism.
awful. To deny
Not a
this
good
is to
person.
willfully
He dismissed the Civil
rewrite
Rights Act
history.
of 1964.
Seriously, remember his words,
the
referring to
landmark
school
legislation
shootings,
I think it's
outlawing
worth to
racial
have a
segregation as a
of,
huge
unfortunately,
mistake.
some gun deaths
We note
every
in our
single
piece
year,
that Kirk
so that we
describes
can
King as,
have
quote, a
the
bad
Second
guy.
Amendment to
True.
protect
And
our
Kirk's
other
self-described
God-given rights.
very,
Children
very radical
were bleeding
view
to
that
death
the
on
country made a
classroom
mistake when
floors,
it passed
and
the
his
Civil Rights Act.
response
Also
was not
true. Yeah, and the
compassion
Civil Rights
nor
Act, though, let's
action,
be
but an
clear,
abstract
created a
calculus
beast,
in
and
which
that
their
beast has now
corpses
turned into
were
an
acceptable
anti-white
price. He described Martin
weapon.
Luther
He sneered
King
for
Jr.
empathy
as
was
awful,
a made-up
not
New
a
Age
good
term
person.
that does
He
a
dismissed
lot
the
of
Civil
damage.
Rights Act of
Empathy and sympathy. I
1964.
can't stand the
You
word
know,
empathy.
the
Actually, I
landmark
think
legislation
empathy is a
outlawing racial
made-up New Age
segregation
term that
as a
does a lot of
huge
damage.
mistake. He called
We note
immigrants
in our piece that
not
Kirk
real
describes
Americans.
King
And
as,
I'm
quote,
not
a
allowed
bad
to say
guy.
that this guy's
True.
not an American.
And
I'm
Kirk's
sorry, he's
self-described
not an American.
very, very
He
radical
granted that
view
America
that the
does not
country made a
need more
mistake when it
visas
passed
from
the Civil
people
Rights
from
Act.
India.
Also
He
true. Yeah, and the
derided
Civil Rights Act,
same-sex
though, let's be
marriage as
clear,
sexual
created a beast,
anarchy.
and that beast
And
has
this
now
was not
turned into an
merely talk,
anti-white
despite what some are saying.
weapon.
He
sneered
snorted that empathy
enormous
was a made-up
influence.
New Age
He built
term
Turning Point
that does a
USA
lot of
into a
damage. Juggernaut
empathy
that
and
fueled
sympathy. I can't
and
stand the
still
word empathy.
fuels
Actually,
youth
I think
towards the most
empathy is
reactionary
a
corners of
made-up New Age
Trumpism
term
and
that
Christian
does a lot
nationalism.
of damage.
He
He called
mainstreamed
immigrants
conspiracy
not
theories
real
and
Americans.
demonization
And I'm not
as
allowed to
daily
say that this
bread.
guy's
He
not an
delighted
American.
in
I'm sorry,
humiliating
he's not an
unprepared
American.
college
He
students
ranted
on
that
camera.
America
A
does
blood
not
sport
need more
carefully
visas
staged
from
for
people
viral
from India.
consumption. He
This
derided
was
same-sex
his
marriage
job.
as spectacle
Spectacle
over
over
substance,
and
cruelty
this was not merely
over
talk,
charity, despite
polarization
polarization
over
he
persuasion.
wielded
Now,
enormous
none of
influence.
this means that
he built
he
Turning
deserved to
Point
die.
USA
He
into a
did.
juggernaut.
The fact that he was
fueled
murdered
and
is
still
abhorrent
youth
and it
towards the most
terrifies me.
reactionary
This is
corners
where
of
we're at
Trumpism and
with
Christian
American
nationalism.
politics.
He
But to
maintained
pretend
that
he was
simply a great man with
demonization as
different
daily
views
bread
is
he
delighted in
cowardice.
humiliating
He played a
unprepared
spearhead
massive
college
roles in
keeping
keeping
the Republican base loyal carefully staged for
and in
viral
shaping the
consumption.
movement that
This
now
was
seeks to
his
refashion
job.
America
Spectacle
into a Christian
over substance,
nationalist
cruelty
state. He also
over
endorsed
charity,
and amplified Trump's
polarization
false conspiracy
over
that the
persuasion.
2020
Now,
election
none
was
of
stolen,
this means that he
alive and
deserved to
inflamed,
die.
and
He
still
didn't.
inflamed.
The fact that he
distrust
was
in
murdered
democracy
is abhorrent,
itself,
and it terrifies
and
me
directly
that this
escalates
is where
the
we're
climate
at
of political
with American
violence in
politics.
America.
Which
But to
brings
pretend
us
that he
to
was
the
simply a
politics
great
of
man
blame.
with different
Donald
views
Trump
is
never one to
cowardice.
resist a
He
self-serving
played a
opportunity.
massive role
Immediately
in keeping the
declared that
Republican
this was
base
the
loyal
work
to
of the
Donald Trump
radical
and in
left.
shaping
He
the
accused
movement
his
that now
opponents of
seeks to
creating an
refashion
atmosphere of
America
violence,
into a
of
Christian
treating
nationalist
Republicans
state.
as
He also
subhuman.
endorsed
For
and
years,
amplified
those
Trump's
on
false
the radical
conspiracy
left
that the
have
2020
compared
election was
wonderful
stolen, a
Americans
lie
like
that
Charlie
inflamed
to
and
Nazis
still
and
inflames
the world's
distrust in
worst
democracy
mass
itself
murderers and
and
criminals.
directly escalates
This
the
kind
climate
of
of political
rhetoric
violence
is
in America.
directly
Which brings us
responsible
to
for
the
the
politics
terrorism
of blame.
that we're
Donald
seeing in our
Trump
country
never one to
today.
resist
And
a
yet,
self-serving
one hardly
opportunity.
needs reminding.
Immediately declared
Trump has
that this
spent
was the
years
work of
accusing
the
Barack
radical
Obama
left.
of treason.
He accused
He
his
has called
opponents of
immigrants
creating an
rapists
atmosphere of
and
violence,
violence. He
of
has portrayed
treating
the left
Republicans
not
as
as
misguided
For
adversaries,
years, those
but as
on
an
the radical
existential
left
enemy
have
to be
compared
crushed.
wonderful
His rallies
Americans
pulse
like
with
Charlie
chants
to
of jailing
Nazis
or
and the world's
deporting
worst
his opponents.
mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
His advisors, like Laura Loomer, openly declare
Trump has
that
spent
debate
years
time
accusing
is
Barack
over.
Obama
He
of treason.
frequently
He has
uses
called immigrants
dehumanizing
rapists
rhetoric himself,
and animals.
and now
He has
portrayed
portrayed
the left
claim
not
that
as
his movement is
misguided
the victim
adversaries,
of
but as an
uniquely
existential
toxic
enemy
incite
to be
It is
crushed. His rallies
hypocrisy
so
with
glaring
chants
that
of
it
jailing
dazzles.
or
When Trump
deporting
decried
his
political
opponents.
violence following Charlie Kirk's assassination, know what he did not say. He did not mention the two Democratic Minnesota state legislators shot in their home in June. His advisors, like Laura Loomer, openly declare who were killed, and State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, who were wounded when a gunman disguised as a police officer claimed that his movement is the victim. He did not mention the arson attack on Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence. So glaring that it dazzles. When Trump decried political violence following Charlie Kirk's assassination, school shooting. Know what he did not another one. He did on the very same day that Charlie Kirk legislators shot in their home. It was within 4 State Representative only recited a litany of Republican and State Senator John Hoffman with his wife, who were wounded when a gunman disguised as a police officer invaded their residence. He did not mention the arson attack on Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence in April that might complicate his narrative of assault the governor leftist violence. He did not mention the latest school shooting. The fact that there is another evidence on the very same day that the Charlie Kirk was gunned down. In fact, it was within 4 minutes. The investigation recited a litany of Republicans. We do not know who pulled the trigger, his own brush with assassination in Pennsylvania. The attack was on the ICE agents. The murder of a healthcare billionaire. Not analysis. It is conveniently admitted. Stopped with Trump's any examples that might complicate his narrative of unilateral leftist violence. Far deeper. Conveniently admitted was the fact that there is no evidence as of this moment that the Kirk shooter was motivated by left-leaning ideology at all. The investigation platforms like ongoing. Twitter, we do not know who pulled the trigger. They don't thrive, and yet Trump already knows. They thrive. It was the left. Extremes. It always more divisive. This is not analysis, it is opportunism. But to stop with Trump's carnival with distorted incentives, the real sickness people like Kirk, of course, excel. His entire model was algorithm architecture of short, digital combative clips, the algorithm, humiliation, reward hapless students, soundbites designed to outrage liberals and cycle conservatives, performative machinery platforms like YouTube, precisely Facebook, because he was polarizing. They don't then we're surprised when people begin to believe that their opponents aren't just wrong, more divisive, but monsters. We're surprised when violence, once rhetorical, in this carnival with distorted incentives, produce people like Kirk and then act bewildered. His entire model loads it algorithm ready. And so here we stand, combative. We must hold humiliation truths of hapless together without soundbites designed to outrage liberals. Charlie Kirk was a victim of an unforgivable crime. Elevated his family precisely deserves he was polarized. And then we are surprised when people begin to believe that their opponents aren't just wrong, but the second is that Charlie Kirk himself, when violence contributed mightily to the very culture of dehumanization, it's as if we mass-produced grievance and then act bewildered he was no one innocent cut down for speaking. And so here we stand, and we must hold a provocateur who normalized without flinching bigotry. The first conspiracy, Charlie Kirk, who made a victim of an unforgivable crime. Both his family deserves our to abandon his supporters is deserve our empathy. The public who watched deserve our care. The second is that Charlie Kirk himself contributed mightily to the very
because it would have taken too much time for me to walk down every aspect of what the gentleman was saying.
Unforgivable truths.
This issue of Charlie Kirk
cruelty,
has hit the world
and
by storm.
And who made
He had
millions
1.7 million followers,
to abandon evil,
and in 2 days after his death, he had 10 million followers. And some of you may ask why that is so. I want to read a text for you that will be my whole program this morning. It's taken from Revelation 13:15. This is dealing with Charlie Kirk. The beast in the last days. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast. so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. Some of you may ask why that is so. Have the idea, or the Bible says, I want to read a text for you that will be killed because of worship. This morning. It's taken from Revelation 13:15. This is a prophecy that dealt with the beast in the last day. And he said the second beast was given with power to give breath to the image of the first beast, to show how it so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. Two beasts. And when the second beast have the idea to the first beast, saying that people will be killed because of worship. In the understanding of the prophecy of the first this beast. Is a prophecy you recognize and it is Rome going to that the Bible is speaking because about. I just want to deal with Charlie and the second beast and the impact that the Bible calls a lamb-like beast to show how it fits into prophecy. Looking, the Bible said that in Revelation 13, and the Bible said that two beasts will give power. Said the second beast will give power to the first beast. And the first as we go through the whole all its power. And we recognize understanding of the prophecy of the first beast, you recognize it is Rome that the Bible is speaking about. And it's just as and the second beast that the Bible called a lamb-like beast, meaning a beast pretending, looking, acting like a lamb, but is a beast in power. And the Bible said that beast is the same power. She used religion and state power of the first to govern people's lives. And the first beast she took away freedom of speech from people. And we recognize what the Bible is saying is just as Rome was, civil rights was, and all was done in the name of God, church and state. And then the Bible says this lamb-like beast will be an image. What is an image? Persecuted the saints. An image is something that used religion and state power if I said to govern present a paper to you, she took away freedom of speech and said, I am the image of my Father. People would deny their religion like him. And the civil rights. And if I said my behavior all was done in the name of God. I am saying that and then the Bible said this lamb-like beast will be an image. And what is an image? So in the Bible says image is something that just like beast will make an image. I present a paper to you, a picture, and say, I am the image of my Father. During the Dark Ages, 1260 years of persecution, and if I said my behavior is in the image of my Father, I am saying that to 1798, and I everything that just has happened, there'll be so in the Bible second beast, which the Bible describes as America, will make an image. To God is showing us. It means that when everything that we have experienced, 5 million people died in the Dark Ages, 1260 years of God was showing us then Roman rule. What will happen 538 AD and what happened to 1798? In a matter of weeks, everything that has happened, the world began second beast, which the Bible describes as America, will do. Who would have thought that? God is showing us that democracy and capitalist societies 5 million people died, dictatorship, and all of them would God allow the same place. God was showing us in such a short time. What will happen in the end? COVID. And what happened during COVID? The message that God is giving in a matter of weeks is that the entire idea world what he said began the world will persecute those who do not the same thing. Those who do not have the mark of the beast. Who would have thought that democracies and capitalist societies and dictatorship and all of them will come to the same place and the entire world? It happened, function in the same way. The message that God has given you, all the policies, the idea when he flights coming in and going out, and persecute those who do not follow him, in the world those who do not have the mark of the beast to the largest. He has shown us the same thing in just about what will happen. That 2 months, the first step, and the entire world showing us. Or warning us to what in the same way in the lockdowns, all the policies. The second thing is what we are banning of flights coming in and going out. And every country in the world should not have died. From the smallest to the largest, a man must not be killed. The same thing in just about 2 months. A man should not be hung. The first step in God showing us, chased after, warning us to what a man should not be in the last days. Brutally, the second step. The second thing is what we are witnessing now. Find himself blows of people because should not have shares the way a different opinion. A man must not be killed. The irony of this is what should not be Charlie Kirk did. He went after those who a man should not be different from him.
brutally
he showed up at college
embarrassed.
campuses.
A man should not
embarrassing
be
young
find
students
himself
who were not
blows
because
of
he
people
came equipped for his
because
argument.
he shares
They were just
a
popping out
different
of their
opinion
seat from you.
And because that, the
he
irony of
embarrassed
this
them.
is,
The genocide that is going on
Charlie
in
Kirk
Gaza
did.
That
He went
craziness
after
that
those who
thought different from
63,000
him. He showed
people
up
have
at
been
college
murdered.
campuses, embarrassing young
21,000
students
of them
who were not
have been
equipped
children.
because he came equipped for his
Hunger
argument.
and famine
They were just
is
popping out
used
of
as
their
a tool
seat
of
and
war.
because that he embarrassed them.
That whole idea
The genocide
of
that is going
Israel
on in
genocidal campaign,
that
is
craziness
what that Charlie Kirk
63,000
He said
have
there's
been
nothing
murdered.
like Palestine. 21,000
He said
of
Judea
them have been
and
children.
Israel is in the right.
Hunger
He said that
and
in the right
famine
to
is
kill
used as a tool of war.
And maim that
And
whole
suffer
idea of
and
Israel
destroy
genocidal
homes
campaign
and
families.
Is
When I
is
hear
what
people speak
Charlie
about
Kirk has embraced.
Charlie Kirk, wife and
He said
child,
there's
and the
nothing like
suffering I'm
Palestine.
going through, I want to say to them that
He
is
said
true,
there's
and we should
Judea.
be concerned about that.
And
But
Israel
there
is
are
in the right.
families of
He said they're in the right
63,000
to
people in
kill
Palestine
who are suffering
and maimed,
worse
and
in
suffer,
fact,
and
the
destroy
wife of
Charlie
people
Kirk
home
still has a
and
home to go
families.
to. When I
She
hear
has a
people
children
speak
to
about
hug.
she has a
Charlie
family,
Kirk, wife and child,
but these
and the
folks suffering
in
I'm going through,
Palestine
I want to
don't
say to them
have
that is
that
true, and we
privilege.
should be concerned
The
about that.
pain is
But there are
naked
the
and bare.
families of
The massacre is
63,000
rabid.
people in Palestine
Charlie
who are suffering
Kirk supported
worse. In fact,
That's why I show that
the wife
video
of
so you can
Charlie
hear him in
Kirk
his own
still
voice
has a home to go
supporting
to.
such
She
things.
has a children
The
to
issue
hug
of
her.
Martin Luther
She has
King.
a family.
Charlie Kirk,
But these folks in said that
Palestine
Martin Luther
don't
King
have that
it was
privilege.
a mistake.
The
to give
pain
this man
is
a holiday.
naked and bare.
He even
The
suggested
massacre
that
is
Billy Graham
rabid.
should have gotten that holiday.
Charlie
instead.
Kirk supported
These
that.
are issues.
And that's why I
friends,
show that video so you can hear him in
that
his own
we
voice.
cannot
supporting
take seriously
such things.
and say that this was
The issue
a
of
man
Martin Luther King.
Not because I pray
Charlie
in the
Kirk
morning and in the evening. Not
said
because I
that
tell you that
Martin
Jesus
Luther
is coming
King,
again.
it was
That
a
makes me a man
mistake
of God. You
to
got to
give this
see
man a
me in my
holiday.
entirety.
He even
What is
suggested
driving me
that
in
Billy
the
Graham
present should have gotten that holiday. That is what you
instead.
got to understand.
These
How I am
are
setting up my
issues,
future
friends,
prevail. That is what
we cannot
you need to
take
understand.
seriously
We
and
say
come
that
back
this was
after
a man
the
of
break.
God.
And
Not
I will
because I pray in the
continue
morning and in the
this
evening.
last
Not
day
because I
prophecy
tell you that Jesus is coming
of
again.
Charlie
That
Kirk.
makes me a man of God. You got to see me in my entirety. What is driving me in the present? That is what you got to understand. How I am setting up my future prevail. That is what you need to understand. We'll come back
Shady Furniture
after
Store.
the break.
We believe the things
And
you
I will
choose for your home should last your
this
family
last day
years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time.
Visit
JD Furniture Store. We believe the things you choose for your home should last your family years to come.
Buy and apply
Whether it's a
today.
cozy
Open
furniture for your
weekdays
bedroom,
only.
living room,
Call
or kitchen
WhatsApp
appliances, we've got it
219
all.
3000 today.
Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll
Every
obsess to
tribe
ensure
holds
it's
a memory.
affordable
Every
with
color
zero-down options
counts.
and home by
Arts,
you in
bakers,
no time.
flags, and emblems.
Visit JD
We
Furniture,
understand
showroom
what
in
these
Arima,
symbols
or
mean. We craft each piece to carry
Buy
the
and apply
weight
today.
of our history,
Open
the
weekdays
brilliance
only.
of our future.
Call
From the
WhatsApp
spirit that forged us to the
219
vibrant
3000
tapestry we are today, our flag witnesses it. Carry our story proudly. Arts, bakers, flags, and emblems. We understand what these symbols mean. We craft each piece to carry the weight of our history, the brilliance of our future. From the spirit that forged us to the vibrant tapestry we are today, our flag witnesses it. Or carry our story proudly. Choose bakers, flags, and emblems. Visit
The whole
us
civil
today.
rights movement, the whole issue of adult suffrage, and all these issues that came out of the civil rights movement, Charlie Kirk has condemned. He's saying, as I said before, that Billy Graham is a more fitting person to give a holiday than Martin. The whole civil rights movement. He said the civil rights movement has created all this and all these issues that came out of the civil rights movement and equality and things like that. Charlie Kirk. He said black women were
he's saying, as I said before, that Billy Graham is a more fitting person than white give a holiday than Martin. He said black women were just fat. He said the civil rights movement has created all this. He said that minority groups racial solidarity should not be given equality and any sort of preferential treatment through things like DEI. His idea was we all should be equal than white women. We are never equal. He said black women will just have destroyed families. These are things you can destroyed inheritance. As in Tulsa. He said that minority groups has created a system where black families and any sort of religion and all the issues went to the back. Things like DEI. Slavery has created his idea was we all should be equal society. But we are never equal. DEI. Slavery have destroyed families. Is to try to have destroyed level the playing field. As in Tulsa. And he's saying that the level the playing field a system is given where black families and unjust religion and all the issues went to the back. He says slavery has created an unequal, and that's why I am confused an unequal when society. I see even black folks what are saying that this man is trying to God missionary or something level like the playing field. He's not. And he's saying that leveling the playing field is giving blacks unjust advantage against nationalists. Why says supremacists. And that's why I am confused a man who's when I see the whole black folks Christian are saying that this nationalism is some God missionary or something like saying that this society is a Christian society and everything else must be second place. Even if we have to deal with them a white by nationalists and violence. A white supremacist. And that's why within that Christian nationality group, driving the whole issue of Christian nationalism. And what is Christian nationalism? That way the whole is saying that this society is a Christian society, right to carry and everything else must be second place. In fact, even if we have to deal with them, I forgot the place by murder, this one, and violence, school shooting. And that's why in America, that Christian nationality group, there is this conference, fixation on Charlie guns. Kirk was speaking on guns. That was and what he said is that when people show them that the guns, the right to carry innocent people to die. In fact, I think it was in the video saying that also. The place I shall come with this one. After if someone have to die shooting for our in Second Amendment to be protected, you had a every year someone have to die. That Charlie Kirk was speaking. The irony of it. And what he said is that when people showed him that the gun is causing innocent people to die. I think it was in the video saying that also, that this cannot be if someone have to die for our Second Amendment to be protected, LGBT every year someone have to die, and it's okay. Trans people, the irony of it, and there's an ignorance that is running through all those Christians who take these positions. Idea homosexuality is wrong. It's an affront by God. But so too is this murder. Cannot be of God. So too is his own idea. So too is fornication. LGBTQ, so too is racism. And trans all people. Those things I call there. And there's an ignorance that is running through all those Christians all those who take things these are positions. Called there. You are homosexuality is wrong. Your challenge is affront by God. It's to accept so too is murder and remove so yourself from those things. Adultery. Those so who go after just homosexual so too is racism. Alone. As in the case and of all those things I call there, and the far right you are not born. You are like saying to that person. All those things I call there. You are doing this. It is because you want to challenge it. I remember a young man coming to my office and move yourself and speaking to me about his condition. Those who go after just homosexual, and as he poured out his heart to me. As in the case of one thing he said that I will never forget. He said, "You are saying to that person, you really think I want to be? You are doing this because." You want there are circumstances in Rwanda. I remember a young man coming to my office. We are all and speaking who we are to me about his condition of our environment, our teaching, and as he poured out his method of socialization. One thing he said that I will never forget. He said, homosexual, I really think I want to be as the adulterer, as the racist, ought to be pitied. There are circumstances in Rwanda. Ought to try to find ways we for their transformation. Who we are because of our environment. Our teaching, our method of socialization, that's how we come who we are. Nothing the homosexual, than true, as the thief, as the adulterer, as the racist, ought to be pitied. Them not like us. We ought to try to find ways for them not like us. Then we ought to treat them in a certain way. But the idea that Charlie Kirk called and he saw himself nothing more than through is an idea of that all Christians should be embarrassed about. Them not like us. Not to rise up and treat him as a missionary. And them not like us. A load of his teaching in a certain way. Has nothing to do with God. In fact, it is an affront to God. That Charlie Kirk called himself the man a Christian. That he accepts an Sabbath. Idea. But he said he accepted that all Christians Sabbath. Should be embarrassed about. He configured not to rise up with the Ten Commandments as a missionary, but he maintained the Jewishness about the Sabbath. The Sabbath has nothing to do with God. In fact, the Sabbath is from God. It is God's Sabbath. Sure, that he has given to the man say that he to worship. He accepts Sabbath. It's not a Jewish thing, but the reason why Charlie Kirk said configured it Sabbath with the Ten Commandments, but he maintained everything that about the Sabbath. Jewish. The Sabbath is not Jewish. Israel. And that's why he said Sabbath is of God. It is God's Sabbath. His belief that he has given to all men by Israel to worship. How could you? It's not a Jewish thing. But the reason that your belief system had been helped said the Jewish Jesus Christ is because that's what the transformation power everything that is Jewish. But no, that is Israel. And that's why he said his Christianity, his faith, his belief have been held by Israel. That we have here in Israel claiming to be Israel. God said you will say that some belief claiming to be Israel had been held through the man Jesus Christ. Who are not. These are they. That's what the transforming power came from. What they have done, apart from them, he said 755 years. Do some folks like to say October 7, 2020? No. These Amorites that going on for here in Israel claiming to be Israel, God said there will be some who come. It is said that the Palestinians were living in an open prison who are not. You cannot send anything for anyone in Palestine. They have done, apart from them taking hold of it and decided. Some folks like to say October 7, 2020. No. This has been going on for 75 flying over their windows. It is said that the Palestinians were living in the lands of the Palestine. You cannot send anything for anyone in Palestine. The settlers Jews are allowed to shoot at this Palestinians with no recourse from the law. And they can't send anything out for you. Children they live with drones flying over their windows. In Israel are throwing stones on the lands of the Palestinians and setting up the houses. The settlers are allowed to shoot at this Palestinian with no recourse from the law in Israel. If she have children by the thousand are in jail pregnancy in Israel for throwing stones. He prefer her to die than to have an abortion. He prefer her to bleed to death. Because he has given himself the right having to die all those far right people to tell women what to do even when their lives are in danger. I'm going to school on myself. Is this he prefer her to die than to have an abortion? Is this of God? He prefer her to bleed to death. But let me tell you what is happening here. Because he has given himself the right as all those far right people read again, said, to tell women the second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast of God. The image of the first beast of America. Is this so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed? So all who refuse to worship Christianity 13:15, I read again, said, the second beast was given power to give breath is about to the image of the first beast. If you the image of the first beast, you recognize so the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image in Africa, whether it's in India, the nation, whether you recognize the rise of Christian nationalism is about. But this is a world is closing in. If you sit back now, you recognize election after election, whether it's government, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in India, the nation, whether you recognize the rise of far right places being set friends. The war is closing in and being church and state by far right government. A gathering of religion and governments together. Religion, and whenever that happens, there is persecution in their whole makeup. Who will do this persecuting? The place is being set friends. Those who for us to have and who have church and state. Those who are a gathering of religion and state wherever they together. And whenever that happens, there is persecution. And who will do this persecuting? When they speak about who will persecute? The history of Charlie Kirk, those who have the being a racist, and who have the guns those being who intolerant, far-right movements, being fascist, wherever the world you go, supporting genocide and the killing of the innocent is leading to when they speak about that. Carrying on a campaign, a wild campaign, being against minorities and marginalized groups, being intolerant, speaking against being stalwart and icon, as supporting King, genocide and James, killing of the innocent, have worked to lift minorities, especially campaign, a wild out of the doldrums against and his minorities of speaking about these people in all forums, speaking against stalwarts and icons. All this is as Martin Luther King and as he is James, a mightily as people who figure across work to lift minorities, especially African I went to bed out of the doldrums and about his way of speaking about these people in all forums. And then I got up this morning. Yet, friends, and then all this is happening. Said to me, they can't make it. I know I was intent to speak about figure across the world and gossip. I went to bed and I intend to do that next week because they will have the questions for that. And I couldn't understand. I got up this morning and then I got up. The Lord said to me, and when he said, Terrance, Candace said to me, they cannot make it. What is happening? I was intent to speak about and I just set myself on bed thinking about what is this issue? Because they will have the question. How could he be so popular? I got up this morning, so dark, and the Lord said to me, and then he said, "Dawn on me, Terrance, the Lord is saying, don't understand like COVID what is happening with as dark as it was." It was, and I just set myself guiding us to what will happen about in the end what time. Is this issue? The same with Charlie Kirk. How could he be so popular and showing us that in the end time, it dawned on me persecution that the saying, by COVID, by the far right, as dark as this was, by Christian nationalists, elements will be very guiding us popular to what will happen in the end time. So the same with Charlie Kirk, that when you come to the whole far right movement, is showing us the end time that if they are being persecuted, then if they are being persecuted, they will have far right people will cry out because they will see that they are being persecuted. Will be very popular. That is to show you, to show us think that when you come to the persecution right movement, it will be end time. If we are being persecuted, then if we are being persecuted, they will have the people will cry out because they will see that we are being persecuted. Charlie Kirk is mine. There was a man who is to show you, to show us free speech. That is not true. When that persecution starts, it will be popular. But as dark it accepted by the vast majority of the people, hearing about the pastors and all you are hearing. But here was a missionary. Here was a man who was speaking his mind. Here was a man who was let's take a break and come back. Which is not true. All these things are guys. If you want but it is accepted by the vast majority of the people. Pastors and all. That's true. It's on your screen. God is showing us exactly what's going to happen in the last days. Let's take a break and come back. And when we come back, I will ask you to call at 744-7325 if you want any clarification or if you want to add to this discussion. 744-7325.
We believe the things you choose for your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all. Obsess over your home's comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time. We believe the things you choose for your home should last your family years to come. Whether it's a cozy furniture for your bedroom, living room, or kitchen appliances, we've got it all.
219-3000 today.
Comfort, and we'll obsess to ensure it's affordable with zero-down options and home by you in no time.
Every thread holds a memory, every color a promise. Arts, bakers, flags, and emblems. We understand what these symbols mean. We craft each piece to carry the weight of our history, the brilliance of our future. From the spirit that forged us to the vibrant tapestry we are every today. Thread holds a memory, witnesses a color, carry our story bakers, flags, and emblems. We understand what these symbols mean. Visit us. We craft each piece to carry the weight of our history, the brilliance of our future. From the spirit that forged us to the vibrant tapestry we are today, our flag witnesses it all. Carry our story proudly. Choose bakers, flags, and emblems. Visit us
what I want you to do, if you're looking on Victoria's Lifestyle and that is happening, you can switch to Real TV on YouTube, realtv.tnt, and see if it's the same. If it's the same there, I've been told that some folks say they are hearing a serious echo. It will be different if you go. What I want you to do, if you're looking on Victoria's Lifestyle and we are in the throes, you can switch to Real TV on YouTube. We are at a time when that image, .tnt, we are at see if it's a stage where something is about to happen. See what we can do. Something is about to happen. The movement of Christian nationalism that is growing in the United States, that we are in the throes of the last days. We are at a time when that image, the foundation for the persecution of the saints, at a stage where something like COVID will show you how when all these nations become the movement of Christian nationalism that is growing in the United States become nations who are media organization is not by chance. Christian nationalism come over all those nations for the persecution COVID have shown us what is going to happen. Things like COVID will show you how when all these nations all line up behind that lamb-like beast. The idea of free speech. Now, if you look and see what is happening around the world, you recognize that the United States have begun to curtail entrance into the United States and hasten the throwing folks out of the United States. You will recognize that. You will recognize that the American Supreme Court have a 6-3, and 6 of those folks are Christians who are wearing their Christianity as a badge, and who, when you hear the utterance, you recognize they are also Christian nationalists. So don't think that the court will be able to save anyone in America. 21 issues of Donald Trump have hit the U.S. Supreme Court. 18 have been ruled in his favor. And it's going to get worse. And it's going to get worse. The whole issue of free speech that some folks, their social media account must be seen in order to receive a visa. Way down in Brazil, Bolsonaro, who tried to overthrow the government, he is charged and he is convicted and sentenced for 27 years. What came out of that? The American government are threatening sanctions against Brazil, who rule in the favor of their own court system, trying to operate from outside of Brazil to impact Brazil court system. These are signs. The issue of South Africa, where folks falsely claimed that they are being persecuted, America is acting against the South African government. The issue with India, and I hold no beef for India, because India supports the war in Ukraine in a clandestine way. So I have no support, but what I'm seeing, the issue of saying to India, if you continue to buy Russian oil, we will deal with you. This is a crazy time we are living in. Here we have an American government trying to control the movement and behavior of governments across the world with things that are local in nature. What we are seeing in Trinidad, where our Prime Minister says she's back in America, ordered to blow a vessel out of the sea, judicial killing, and she's still saying, we'll kill them, we'll kill drug traffickers. Please don't be surprised. This is what most governments will say as we go on, as we get closer to the end time. They will line up behind that lamb-like beast for the persecution of people. These are trying times that we are living in, but these are times that the Bible warned us about. These are times that we are going to meet. Charlie Kirk's death is evidence for what will happen in those last days. If you feel America or Britain or France will come to your aid, if you feel your neighbor next door who are not a Christian but a good friend of yours will have a problem when you are persecuted. If you feel your husband, your children, those who grow up in your bosom, if you feel they will persecute you, no, it will not. No, they will not go against your persecution. They will side with it. You are seeing it now. There are church people, pastors, church members who are seeing this thing not for what it is, although they are learned in scripture, they have an understanding of prophecy, they still cannot see it. The Bible said, those who do not have the mark of the beast or the number of his name will be persecuted. The issue concerning the mark of the beast is an issue of worship. Is an issue of worship. And if you have the time and you go back to Turning Point, which was Charlie Kirk platform, his channel, you recognize the issue of worship, us and them. You know, as the song says, them not like us. You recognize that is playing off over and over. If you go up on the social media and see the argument for the support of Charlie Kirk, you see the argument has to do with that this man is a worshiper of God. This man is an evangelist. This man is a missionary. You see, the issue comes back to worship. It comes back to worship. Free speech, freedom to choose, are God-given rights. God has given me the right to be wrong. God has given me the right to reject him and campaign against him. God has given me that right. God has given Charlie Kirk that right to talk all that vileness. God has given him that right. So when someone should show up with a high-power rifle and kill him, that is wrong. And God frowned on that. But God also frowned on Charlie Kirk's campaign against marginalized groups, against minorities. He also frowned on that. Some folks believe that when they say ill things about LGBTQ and about abortion and about pagans and things, that God is cheering them on and God is applauding. No. God hates the sin, but he loves the sinner. There is no one who that God will so banish unless he commits the unpardonable sin. God is rooting for all of us to come and to change. The sad thing about Charlie Kirk, he went to his grave without, I don't know, when he was shot, they say it take about 12 seconds to die. I don't know if that 12 seconds he had repented. But if that didn't happen, then his death is a very sad death. And those who are calling him good, the Bible said, beware of those who call evil good and good evil. And a lot of that is happening now. I don't know about you, but anyone who could support the mayhem and the massacre and the genocide and the famine that is going on in Gaza and the West Bank, something is definitely spiritually wrong with you. Something is spiritually wrong with you. I think we should be supporting anything that we believe our God will support. And he loves us so that he have allowed these things to happen, that we will know and we will come to the knowledge of the truth. Yeah, he loves us with an everlasting love. Yeah, he's there for us. And all these things are happening. He's doing that we can come to the knowledge of the truth. Our God is a good God. You know, or you say, oh, yes, he is.
Our God is a good God. Yes, he is. He has scanned evil, and he embraced righteousness. And his desire is for you and I to turn from our evil ways and accept him as our Lord and Savior. Friend, in the last days, persecution will come to the saints. It will come to all men who do not line up between Christianity and Christian nationalism. All men, even Muslim countries, will line up between that right-wing movement. And God is demonstrating to us this morning how it will happen. Although Charlie Kirk is a most miserable and vile individual, he's paraded around the world as a Christian hero, as someone to emulate, as someone we should walk like. That's what they're saying. That is what's being said. No, friend. No, friend. He deserved not to die like that. But he's far, far, far from what you will call, who I will call, or what God will call a man after God's own heart. I'll catch you next week. I'll catch you next week. And next week, we are dealing with gossip and gossipers. We are showing how dangerous it is to you and those who we gossip about. We'll show next week how God hates this thing that called gossip. We'll show what happens to you because you gossiping, and what happened to those who you gossip again. Next week, same place, same time. Be here where we have that program on gossip. Until next week, may God bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he give you peace. Peace in your hearts and peace in your soul. Goodbye, everybody. Love you. Catch you next week.
Ele tá cuidando. Lembrar de onde você veio, aonde que você chegou. Lembrar de todos os livramentos que você já passou. Nem era pra você tá aqui, mas Deus falou assim: esse aí vou levantar. E onde colocar a mão eu vou abençoar. Não chore, quem cuida de você não dorme. Levanta, tem muita gente que te ama. Deus mandou te dizer que vai acontecer.